So after a myriad of tech issues, we're finally back and able to record. So we're going to be checking out Arbolva. I think that's how it's supposed to be pronounced, Arbolva, I don't know. Anyway, I'm calling it Arbolva, and, you know, if that's wrong, whatever. Let me know in the comments. But this card is really interesting because it has the oil salvo attack where you just get to spread a whole bunch of damage all over the place, where you choose one of your opponent's Pokemon 6 times, so you can choose different targets or the same one multiple times. And then each Pokemon that you choose, you do 20 damage to it. And unfortunately, this doesn't have weakness or resistance or anything, which it would be nice if it did. But you're able to spread 120 damage all over the bench. So this pairing with Froslass is really powerful because you're going to be able to spread even more damage from the Freezing Shroud, and then pairing it with Munkidori makes it even stronger because you're going to be able to move those damage counters off and just be really frustrating, spreading a ton of damage all over the place. The easiest way to do this is just to be really annoying with our opponent, so we're going to be looking to Unfair Stamp them and put them to 2 cards while we continue to just be really frustrating and just keep spreading damage around. And then on top of that, we're playing double counter catcher, so that way we can just keep trapping things in the active to be really annoying as we spread damage around and just continue to, you know, kind of mess with them. We are playing Jamming Tower. This is, you know, a little counterintuitive because we have we end up having the Jamming Tower and the TM Devo. But the main reason for this is that TM Devo is really good in the late stages of the game, but the Jamming Tower is pretty useful at stopping our opponents from being able to kind of extend the life of their Pokemon on the bench, where a lot of times if they have basic, they're playing things like Bravery Charm to be really annoying, or like I've seen a lot of times in my testing where in the early game going up against like Cynthia's Garchomp, when they just have like a Gibble and they start through and like we're able to go early Rare Candy into the Arbolva or Arbolva, it doesn't really end up mattering because they just like play a whole bunch of the power braces and we can't get past that. So it's just a little frustrating. So it's nice to have the Jamming Tower. You could absolutely replace this if you wanted with like a Team Rocket's Watchtower. I think that's also a fine play, but I found that this is a little bit better, especially in matches against like Raging Bolt and stuff like that, and matchups where you don't really even need the Arbolva, you just kind of, or Arbolva, you just end up going with the Munkidori and the Froslass. But yeah, that's kind of the list. It's pretty straightforward. We're running the 4 copies of Luminous Energy, so that way you can always get your Arbolva powered up and ready to go, as well as Munkidori. We are running TM Evolution, so that way if you go second, since we're running 4 Arven anyway, you can go Arven into an Evolution, try to get yourself your Froslass set up, or, you know, get into your copy of Dolliv. But it's mostly for your Froslass, since we're relying mostly on Rare Candy in order to get into the Arbolva VX. But yeah, that's pretty much the list, guys. Be sure to let me know what you think of the list and any changes that you'd make to it. I will have it down in the description. If you want to try it out for yourself, you can just go ahead and copy it there. For everybody else, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. And I do want to give a special shout out to the channel members. Thank you guys so much for that additional level of support. It really does go a long way and means a lot, so thank you so much for that. If you're interested in becoming a channel member, the link to it will be down in the description, as well as the perks you'll get for it is being able to have access to all of the stream VODs for the channel, as well as just seeing content early when I go to upload it and stuff like that. It's always uploaded for channel members first. But yeah, that's just about it. Enough rambling for me. Final message. I have 2 of them. Also part of why I'm playing Arbolva is that me and Control Players Unite will be doing another episode of our Office Hours series where you submit a deck list to us and then we review it and kind of critique it, give our own variation of the deck and things like that, and just go over basic deck building skills and all that kind of stuff. So if you're interested in that, feel free to leave your deck list down in the comment section below with the hashtag Office Hours, and we will be choosing some people from his Discord, mine, and our YouTube comments in order to pick for the upcoming video. Or if you want to post it in the community Discord, you're welcome to do that. That'll also have a link down to it in the description. Final piece of news, I have changed some audio settings and things like that, so be sure to let me know how this video sounds. I'm sure it'll sound a little different, but it shouldn't sound drastically different, just enough you know, for minor changes. But yeah, that's just about it for all my rambling, and I will see you guys in the games in a second. Peace. All right, we're into game number 2, and we're going to be going second. We are going to mulligan here. Oh my god, I think we're up against the same person. What are the odds of that? I think we are. Yeah, they're just playing that weird Ekans deck. Well, we now know we need to hold a stadium to bump the neutralization zone. Their whole play here is just to get into Arbok. Like, that's legitimately their whole play. What's good for us... So there's Prody. I don't remember. So, a little bit of behind the scenes here. I don't remember if this is the same person that I played in game 1, or there's a game that I was just about to play, or that I played, but it's not gonna end up like making it into the video essentially. I don't think TM Evo is gonna work, right? Because I'm not gonna be able to use the attack. So I think the play is I'll take TM Devo. What we're gonna do is go Nest Ball for Munkidori, attach an energy, place this down, place this, Ultra Ball this and this, because it doesn't matter how many they make. That's gonna be an irrelevant factor. Right, I'm also just really stupid. I can't use Cleffa either because of the headquarters. Oh my god. So, after the game we just saw where I was up against Ekans, I loaded again and ended up into another game versus an Ekans where pretty much this same outcome happened. Except I just used Munkidori to keep moving the damage over. And we just kind of won the game that way. And I feel like that's what's going to end up happening here again. If they don't make Arbok, I just go Pokégear, hopefully hit Arven, go Rare Candy into a Arboliva, and just start knocking out everything. Alright, we at least get research. So I'm gonna go energy here. I think I have a higher odds of being able to go research, getting Rare Candy, and a way to pick up my Arboliva. I didn't, but that's fine. I can go Artazon to bump this. So I can at least grab myself Cleffa. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me give me 1. I could go Munkidori. I really, really wanted to get into... Yeah, I'll just do this. I can get rid of 1 Iono. Grab myself these in my deck. I really, really wanted to get into the my Arboliva, but unfortunately I couldn't. There's an argument that I should have gone for the Iono instead, but the reason I wanted to go research there is that I have Night Stretchers in deck, so the odds of me hitting Rare Candy Night Stretcher are, like, fine. We see Arven here. I wonder for what. Switch TM Evo. Alright, well, this is going to be our last turn attempting to get into our Arboilva. Because after this, we are just going to get attacked. We can retreat out, bring in Munkidori, attach, and just start attacking. But at the same time, it literally does not matter. Because we can just go Dark Energy on a Munkidori. Every time they spread the 30, we'll just start moving that off. We get our Night Stretcher Rare Candy, which is what I wanted to do before. So that actually works out really, really well for us. This is where we want it to be. We'll keep the Jamming Tower in hand. We'll keep everything else. There's no point going Artazon at this point. We'll go Salvo. I just want to prep everything. I don't have TM Devo anymore, but I can prep these to just be KO'd on the next turn. Their whole deck is just 4 Ekans for Arbok. Yeah, there's the Luxurious Cape, which we can turn off with the Jamming Tower. So my goal here too is like, I don't want to give them the like Archer and all that kind of stuff. I don't know if they like play Fez or something. So I'm just going to play around this by, like, I don't know if they play Counter Catcher to be annoying. I genuinely don't know what's in their deck. So what I'm going to do is just stack damage counters on these until they're at the point where I can just KO all of them on the same turn. And just go from there. Is, I feel like, the best play to go with. And if they attack into me, I can just use Munkidori to start, like, spreading damage counters. There's our Fez. Again, there's no real reason to do anything, so we can go for this. We'll stack damage here. This might... Alright. Just because of the length of this, I might end up cutting the other game that I played against this style deck. I don't remember if it's this person in particular, but I've literally played against this, like literally this list 3 games in a row, so something tells me that somebody did a video on this and now everybody's trying it or something. But this will just be my game 1, just because I do think this is pretty funny. Like, this is just an interesting kind of deck to play against. It just didn't exactly work out for them. And I don't necessarily think this deck is very good. I guess it's their goal just to play like a bunch of counter catchers and look to trap stuff in the active, because even if they attack here with Spinning Tail, they do 30 to everything, but like we can just use Munkidori to move all that damage off, and then on the next turn we can just KO everything. You see Team Rocket's Petrol. Yeah, I assume they just play a bunch of counter catcher and like double Giovanni's. Yeah, in comes the Spinning Tail. We'll just move the 60 damage. Then, oh, it swapped my cards around. That's weird. Swapped them back. Interesting. Alright, so we gotta do 90 damage to this. I'm gonna pass, because again, my whole goal is to just do enough that I KO everything in one turn. And if I do 90 to this, then I'll end up leaving one of these alive, and I don't really want to do that. Because the last thing I need is for my Smoliv to get retreat trapped or something, like just some dumb, random thing that could happen. So I'm fine letting them attack again, moving Munkidori. Alright, there's their final Ekans. So again, like I said, even if I have to take like an extra turn or two to, you know, do this, I'm not that worried about it. So we'll go for the brain. We can even let this get knocked out, just to heal ourselves a little bit more. We'll put this in 60. We'll move this, so that way that's at 30. So let's see, we're taking 2 prize cards here, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we can pass one more time. And then that way, what we'll be able to do is just put everything in range that we're just able to KO it right away. Because we need to be able to do 70 damage here. This is 20, so that's 70, 80, 90, 100, 120, so we wouldn't have been able to get the KO. Yeah, in comes the Giovanni. We can always just retreat, though. And if they go for an attack, then our Smoliv will get knocked out, so we don't have to worry about it. And that'll also give us access to Unfair Stamp. So, I mean, this game is over. It's a weird deck, like I said, to come up against. But it has made for an interesting game 1. This, yeah. There comes the Petrol. I'm not really sure what Petrol would do here, though. Like, my main thing is I just don't want to get trapped, and so I feel like a lot of their deck right now is like Giovanni's and random other stuff. Like, they can take the prize card, I don't really care, it just gives me access to Unfair Stamp. Which we don't even really need to go. We'll move 30 damage here. Grab that. And then force them to bring a new active in. What we'll do is move 30 damage here. And then we can go for the oil. Move that. Move that. And take all of the remaining prizes. The reality is, like, with double Munkidori up, there's, like, literally nothing they could do. So, once we were able to get our Smoliv, or our Arboliva evolved, we were fine. But even if we couldn't, just having double Munkidori on board was, like, literally all we needed in order to win. So, it doesn't really matter. It's kind of a dumb, weird first game. But I kind of like playing against that deck, so we'll jump into game 2 in a second, and I'll see you guys there. Peace. Alright, we're into game number 2, and our opponent's will be going first. We open Snorunt. If we got TM Evo, it wouldn't be that bad. Honestly, as a whole, this isn't terrible. We could potentially top deck into Arven, that'd be pretty cool. We're up against Team Rocket's Zubat this time. That's interesting. Buddy Poffin comes out. Well, we went from Arbok to Zubats. Really is the Team Rocket special over here. We see Factory, Proton for... This is interesting, to say the least. If we can get into a Arboliva, we're gonna go crazy on this bench. We see, all right, we're gonna be able to go Buddy Poffin. We do get an Arven, so we can actually go TM Evo. Our other okay. Are there Snorunts prized? I'm still down to go with this, though. The problem is that, like, even TM Evo doesn't actually help us here because the Dolliv's in our hand. But I can go... Alright, this is the play I think I make. I think I go Nest Ball, Rescue Board, Nest Ball, get myself a Munkidori. We can go Luminous Energy onto it, go Rescue Board onto the Snorunt, move this out, place this here. On the next turn, we can go Dolliv, Evolve, go Earthen Vessel, put a Grass Energy onto the Dolliv, and then just go Iono after. Or we could just drop we could go Dolliv, drop Research, hope to get into a Grass Energy, Rare Candy, and a Arboliva, or Arboilva, or however it's supposed to be said. That did way more damage than I thought it would do. We probably should have just sacked one of these. So, my mistake there. Yeah, I mean, going Iono's fine, I think, here. I think we go Earthen Vessel, get rid of this. Grab ourselves these. Attach this down, go Iono. Try to bump the stadium at least. Okay, I mean, we get our Froslass. That's actually pretty good. We can go Counter Catcher as well. Make them have to have an energy. For the Zubat, we'll go Buddy Poffin. For Cleffa, retreat this out, bring the Cleffa in, attack with the Cleffa, get ourselves some more cards. There's double Arboilva, that's really, really big. And we're starting to spread damage with the Froslass, so if we can go double Arboilva here, drop Research, where we can get ourselves into a new Munkidori. That'll be really good for us. They get to move 20 damage onto different stuff, but that's not enough to really matter. The only thing... Okay, I was going to say, the only thing that'd be annoying is like a Giovanni's that allows them to retreat. That would kind of suck. Because it would let them retreat and start swapping around like damage, and that would be pretty annoying. If we could get into Munkidori, get it with the Dark Energy down, that would be super ideal. Good use of the Ariana. There's another Golbat. Puts us to 60. So we can't be KO'd this turn. What does this do? You may put this Pokemon into your hand. That's cool. They go Earthen Vessel. You're gonna knock out the Cleffa. We get to bring in the Arboilva, make us healthy enough that we don't really have to worry about these random pings again. There's the Assault Return. I think the main thing is that we just put... So we'll bring Froslass in. They chose not to return it. That's interesting. Alright, so we'll go Rare Candy. Make this. Bring that in. And then I think from here, we do a similar play where we go Counter Catcher. There's no energy in the discard, so it's actually safer to bring this up. And then from here, I think we just go Research. We don't need the Rare Candy anymore. We don't really need the Arvens. We're really hoping just to be able to go Nest Ball. Again, get ourselves Munkidori, which we were able to do. We can go Dark Energy down. start to heal the why am I blanking on this? The Arboilva? Arbolov? I don't know why it's saying that's so difficult for me. What we'll do is we'll retreat out, bring this in, we'll drop the Jamming Tower. I don't think it matters. I guess we can keep it, because we want to reset their hand, but we should probably hold on to it because they're going to be able to bump it anyway. Everything's 50 damage underneath, so we just need to prep that. We'll KO that one, and that's prepped. And that way, we're pretty much set up for a TM Devo. We just have to hit an Arven. There's Giovanni's. Them knocking out the Froslass is like annoying, but also not that big a deal because we don't even need to really go for Devo. We can just move damage with the Munkidori. Let's see, what is, it's 80 underneath, so we only need 10 more damage on those, or 20 damage on that one. And we can still go for the Devo play. Team Rocket's Factory. We would love to hit an Iono here, especially if they like take a knockout. Bring this in. We don't get access to Froslass again. We'll go Pokégear. We only find an Arven, which is not the worst ever, but I'd really prefer Iono or the Unfair Stamp. So we can go for that. What I'll do here is go Arven, use that to find myself a Night Stretcher. We can go TM Devo here as well, because we can set this up to get KO'd, as well as we're only able to move 30 damage, so we'll leave the TM Devo in deck. We'll grab TM Evo instead, just so that way it gets moved out of our deck. We'll go Night Stretcher, pick up the Munkidori. Oh, wait a minute. I was wrong. I do want to access the TM Devo. Alright. So here's how we'll do this. We'll place this here just to do it. We don't need the rest of this, so that way we'll go Unfair Stamp. Hopefully hit our TM Devo, because I miscounted. We don't. Which, I mean, sucks a little bit, but it's not, like, the worst thing to ever happen. We'll go Super Rod. Put these back in the deck so that way we can find them later. And then we'll start to heal, so we'll do 50. What we can do is prep this. We'll set 10 onto this. Or, sorry. Place this. Then what we'll do is the 20 off in this. We'll move here. And then we'll attack this turn. So what we'll do is prep. We'll just knock that out straight. Knock that out. And then we'll do 20 to this. So we'll grab ourselves 2 prizes, because we do want to find our Froslass and things like that. Night Stretcher is also fine. Because the main thing from here is that the damage they do, we're going to be able to move with Munkidori. And we're pretty much set up for a TM Devo that'll end the game if they don't move these. So we're pretty much fine. They have to go Assault Return to at least take one of these off the board. They chose not to do so. So if we can get into our TM Devo, that'd be fantastic. Unfortunately, we have no way to draw. But it's fine. We can just keep moving damage off. I don't think there's anything we really want. So we'll take this turn, attach a grass energy. Go for the olive, or the oil salvo rather. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep stacking damage on these. Because eventually we'll get into TM Evo. Oh wait, we have Jamming Tower, so we're not gonna be able to use it anyway. Oops. That was a mistake. I mean, we'll be able to KO both of these anyway on the upcoming turn. They do the Assault Return. They choose to stay in the active. There's our Froslass. Alright, so we'll get rid of this, we'll get rid of this. Grab ourselves Snorunt. Place that down, that way on our next turn, we can deal with that. We'll grab this. And start to throw damage here. Get that knocked out. Put us down to 2 prizes. Another rare candy, don't really need it. Go oil. And we'll just throw the damage onto this one. Because at this point, we don't really have to worry about anything. We have the ability to get into Froslass. They won't be able to KO us. We can just take the KO onto this on the upcoming turn. I didn't actually realize how low in health it was. We could have just KO'd this as well. But it doesn't really matter. There's no outcome here where they can beat us. Their damage output is just way, way too low for it to matter. We get an Iono. We have the Luminous Energy. If they KO us, even if they were to KO Fez or our Arboliva, it wouldn't matter. Munkidori against both of these decks is just way too strong, because any damage they put on us, we're just going to start moving back. And it doesn't matter that they did that, because we only have 1 prize left. We're just going to move that over there to be fun. We'll move a little bit more. So that way we can do this. I was almost able to take both out. Well, we grab our Ultra Ball. And that's going to be game number 2. Weird games on the ladder today. What you guys don't know is behind the scenes, I've run into Arbok 3 games in a row. And just decks like this over and over, so it seems like this is the best that I'm going to be able to find. But yeah, hopefully you guys like the deck. Hopefully I was still able to show off kind of how it works. It's a really fun deck for sure, so definitely be sure to give it a try. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the breakdown in a second. Peace. When we're looking at a Brawler VX, which again, I don't know actually how to pronounce this card. But when we're looking at this card, I think it's a pretty interesting card, and I think it's a card that with time will become even better. Actually, right as I'm recording this, I saw a upload of a deck list for this card paired with Dusknoir and like cutting the Munkidori and the Froslass. And I think that's kind of interesting. I'm not sure how much I like it, but it's definitely something to explore. And I think that this card allows for that a lot. It's such an interesting spread damage kind of card. So I feel like as metas kind of move and change, this could become a lot better. In its current state, I don't think it's incredible, but I definitely do think it's a very fun deck to play and offers a little bit of a different style of gameplay. And so I think that's good. So for fun, I'm giving it a 4 out of 5. I think it's pretty fun. For power, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. I think that its independent damage isn't great, but it can stack up damage very, very quickly. Especially when you can get like a full board going. Like if you have double Arboliva, you have 2 Froslass, 2 Munkidori on board, you're pretty much set. Like you're just going to be spreading so much damage around and just being super, super frustrating to deal with. So it's definitely a direction I would take with it. For consistency, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5 as well. It's not great, it's not bad. You'll typically be able to get at least one of each of those pairings. Like your board will typically be the, you know, your EX, your Froslass, and 1 Munkidori. You can get that part pretty consistently. But getting the full board of, you know, getting your second Munkidori, getting your second EX, and getting your Froslass, like, all together can be, like, a little bit frustrating to do. It, like, just because the deck is a little too slow in some cases to, like, get that up super consistently. For matchups, I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5. Unfortunately, right now, with the current state of the meta, it's just, like, not as efficient, where it's, like, if you're going to be doing this, this is just a worse, objectively, it's, like, it's just a worse Grimmsnarl. So, it's, like, because you'll lose to Grimmsnarl, you'll lose to Joltik Box in most cases. Your matchups just aren't great, but it is just, like, a lot of fun to play. I just would recommend, like, if you're going to go in with this deck, don't expect to win a ton of games, but expect to, you know, when you are winning, it's a good time. And even when you're losing, it's a fun time to try to, like, battle with a little bit of a weaker deck against some of the meta. I definitely would check out the list that explores like Duskull and Dusknoir and stuff like that. I haven't explored them at all. I just, like, literally just saw them for the first time, like, right as I started recording this. But it seems pretty interesting, so that'd be the next step of this deck that I would explore. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video, guys. Be sure to let me know what you think of the list down in the comment section below and what you want to see next on the channel. I know I've gotten requests for the Ho-Ho box. I'm just not a fan of that deck, and I'm really still trying to find a list that I like and think works well enough to kind of cover on the channel. So yeah, that's going to be it for this video. I'll see you guys all in the next one. Peace.